All right, guys, welcome to the Fan Jam team call. It is January 20th, and you're gonna get all of us tonight, okay? It is going to be myself, Jer, Shorty, and Danielle, all sharing our best practices when it comes to the business activity tracker. We'll dive into exactly what the call is all about and get to it. But first, we'll kick it off as we always do with recognition. If you guys have recognition for your team, you want to welcome anybody, you have people who've hit Success Club or they've done something outstanding in their business this week, massive win. Please unmute yourself and shout out your coaches.
Can I go first? Because I have a major recognition. Christina had her baby. She had a baby girl. Baby Gia has arrived. So that is a massive, she's obviously not on the call, but I did want to give her major congratulations because, yeah, I'm just super excited and can't wait to meet her. So wanted to shout her out. And I mean, I'll do the rest of my recognition while I'm here, but I just wanted to like start off with that because who doesn't love babies?
We got a baby. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So yeah, she was 11 days early. So I'm sure, yeah, like Christina literally was messaging me late last night saying, powdered formula, do you remember, did you use bottled water? Did you boil your water? Like this was the conversation we had last night and today she's here. So anyway, super exciting. I wanted to welcome my new coach. She's not on the call, but my new coach, Carla, to the team. I'm super excited to have her. She started her journey back in November, kind of went on and off a little bit. I talked to her about coaching and she was like, yes, I want to do it. And I was like, perfect. This is amazing. So I wanted to welcome her. I wanted to welcome, I don't think Carmelina couldn't get on, right? She's going to try and jump on, but I wanted to recognize and welcome Amelia to the team. She's on the call tonight. So I wanted to welcome her. She is rocking her journey in the 9-week Control Freak program right now. So Amelia, welcome. You are just, she's such a light. And I just can't wait to work with her. And I wanted to recognize Linda, she's on the call. Yay. Linda's stories have been so amazing lately, and she's struggled a little bit with staying on track with her stories and her consistency, but she decided she was going to go all in back with her journey, and she's involving her husband and her son, and it's just amazing to watch. And she's showing up in her stories and it's making a difference. We had a little chat today and it's really making a difference for her. So it's just a proof that if you show up and you stay consistent, it really does reflect in, the people who are watching and the people that you can connect with. So I just wanted to recognize her effort.
I love it. Welcome, everyone. Massive congrats to all the wins. And a baby. I'm so excited. Who else has recognition?
I'm going to go really quick. I want to welcome Trey, my cousin. He's here. I know it's been a long wait for him to get started and join the family, but I'm super excited. I know he has such a powerful story, and I can't wait for him to be able to develop that and share it with you guys because it's going to be huge. So I'm just so happy to have him here and give him a huge welcome. So welcome, Trey. And then welcome. And then all my Better Have training girls are doing so good. And I don't like to freak them out because I know they're all at their own pace, but they're doing amazing. And they're hitting Success Club this month. Liz, you're almost there. I don't want to freak you out, but you guys are doing amazing. And I'm just so proud of every single one of you guys. And with your help, we're going to do 1 star the first quarter. I know it. So
yes, get that out there. Visualization is everything. Manifest that ish. I'm so excited for you guys. And okay, something that you've picked up on your team, and I actually really love, is that you understand what like freaks them out and what motivates them. It's important. Not all of us love recognition. Like not everyone here is motivated by recognition. A majority of the population is motivated by recognition, but there are a few of us who are like, ew, don't say my name. Like, no, just hush. Let me do my thing. I got it. So that's huge, Marisol. I love that you have that pulse check on your coaches too, to know what motivates them and what doesn't. Anyone else with recognition?
I do. I want to recognize Rachel and Sabrina are both at SC2. Sabrina's not really sure how or why she's at SC2, so we'll look into that. But I feel like it's really exciting anyways. Like if they're going to give you a leg in, keep going with the momentum. I love it. And Lindsay's just always the PV queen. And I just want to shout out the Meltdown moms, because when I come with my first quarter goals and I'm hearing theirs, they stepped up to the plate like right away and were like wanted to work towards the team goal. And I think it's just amazing to have such people that are leading, and all of them are on their personal journeys and doing so well. So just big shout out to the Meltdown moms. I love them.
I love it. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I'll just add to that really quick. So an easy way to find out where you got that successful point from was when you go into your back office and you log in and manage my business, and you're going to see the Success Club there. When you see the points where they're from, if you click on the number, it'll tell you exactly where it's from. It'll say, so-and-so bought whatever.
Anytime you're in your coach
Super
office
simple.
and it's blue and underlined,
You can
click
click
it.
on it.
See what it's all about. Go,
Yeah.
you can click on all of that and it takes you to like this magical land of figuring out everything. But yeah, it's really great. So hope that helps. If you need help with that, let us know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else's recognition for the team?
I do. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
We
Jackson's in
can,
the
you're
back.
good.
Okay. Kaylee, SC10, killing it. Super proud of her. She's crushing it. Like to give a shout out to Jose. She's really been showing up in her stories lots. And just to everybody that's been a part of the community recently. It's really nice, especially with me. Everyone's kind of been holding me accountable, to be honest. With everything going on in my life, I kind of fell off track. So trying to get back on track and having the support of the whole community, excluding every single person on this call, means a lot. So shout out to everybody that's part of the fam jam, especially you guys too.
Awesome.
I love it. That's amazing. And welcome to your focus back to Beachbody. I love it. Anybody else with recognition?
I want to go real quick.
Yeah.
So it's nothing Success Club related, but I just want to really acknowledge the personal growth that our team has been having recently. Maddie's for still showing up throughout such tough times. We have a lot of girls on our team having some tough struggles this month, and just they're still showing up for their personal journey, still pushing through, still being authentic and vulnerable. And our clients are really seeing that it's okay to show up even when we're not okay. Liz, the amazing growth that she's had. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't seen her lives, like I like feisty Liz. It's like we need that once in a while. And I'm just so proud of you too. I know you're not my coach, but I'm just so proud of you. Cresta, always making time for her own boundaries and realizing that you don't have to do so much in a lot of time, but you can get super effective in just a short amount of time. But I know she's got a lot going on. She's about to move to Canada. So all year out, you're gonna have more Cresta, but just still prioritizing her parties too. So I'm just so proud. Cassie for rocking her podcast, which is incredible. And huge shout out to Shalene for launching her podcast episode this week. I'm just so grateful to be around all of you guys for just up leveling all of our own personal growth, self-confidence, and just doing the damn thing. So proud of you guys.
Let's do the damn thing. Yes. Thank you. I'm so proud of you guys. It's amazing. Liz is going to have her own podcast soon too. I'm getting her on the bandwagon. It's fine. She's going to be there right with me.
Liz totally needs her own podcast.
Right? Liz,
Like totally. I would listen to it I would listen to it all day long.
Yeah. She's doing it.
Look, check this out real quick. Shout out to my husband. He was like, you need to start practicing and playing. We'll get you the real stuff once you figure it out. I was like, are you saying I talk too much?
No, you do not talk too much. Is the perfect amount.
So I think
gosh,
it's
I love
awesome.
it.
So I'll be playing with it, you guys.
I love it. Oh, it's so exciting. All right. Anyone else with recognition? I want to give a massive welcome to Lisa. Lisa's on the call with us tonight. Lisa's diving in. We literally just had a call last night onboarding her.
Yeah.
So she is fresh on this call. And I'm like, I know it's last minute, but jump on. So massive welcome to the fam. I'm so excited that you are here with us. And also I am super pumped for our 7-day push group to Emerald. If you guys aren't a part of that, you can just message me or put it on the chat or put it in the team page. I put a post up in there too. It is the image that says Emerald U+2. We are going to do a 7-day, really super hyper focused on the business activity tracker. So it's falling right in line with this call tonight. And we're really just going to be like super accountable on our journey to get to that next step. I think we have been talking a lot about vision, and we just had the Emerald exclusive call before this one, and we were kind of chatting about it on that call as well. You know, we've been talking a lot about big vision, big dreams, big goals. And what can happen when we're talking about casting that vision that's like a year out from now, 2, 3, 4, 5 years out from now, when we're doing that, oftentimes we can feel like we're not doing enough right now. And we're like, how on earth am I going to get there? It feels so far away. I just can't. And so what I love about this next focus group that we're going to do is that it's breaking it down into the next step for you. Like, this is the next, we're just going to focus on the next step. And every month we're going to continue to just next step, next step, next step. And we're going to take those small steps until we finally get you to that bigger goal. But sometimes it feels like that bigger step, that big leap from A to Z is like almost impossible at times. So we're really going to focus it down. I love everyone that is like, yes, I'm in, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to level up and move my business to that next level. And we will be doing a diamond focus as well, moving out of this one. So know that there's going to be opportunity for everybody, regardless of where you're at on your business journey right now as well. So let's dive into.
I have some recognition.
Oh, Jared has
Yeah.
recognition. Sorry.
Just waiting for you to take a breath so I can
I
get
don't breathe in between talking.
some words in here. Anyways, I just wanted to have a massive welcome to Ty. He joined us last week. I don't know if you've seen any of his posts on our team page, but he was an addict of crack cocaine and serious alcoholic. And he has been 40 days clean from drugs right now. And in the last 2 days has like seriously cut back his alcohol to the point where it's like the amount he's drinking is what I believe a normal person would drink. And like, I'm just so proud of him because I could only imagine how hard that would be to try and cut that addiction and deal with that. And I'm just so proud of him. And he's actually got a coach signing up with him as of next week. So he is already putting the work in. He is loving this new lifestyle. He's found a passion for cooking, which is kind of filling the void of his addictions. But yeah, super proud of him. I know he's not on the call, but I know he's going to catch the recording. So super proud of him. Glad he's with us. And like I said, I've known him for ever since he was a little kid. So.
And to piggyback on that, thank you, all of you guys, for really being so incredible and showing people what community looks like and showing people what support looks like and being able to be just such a positive outlook for literally all of us on this team. But for someone to be able to be so vulnerable in our team page and for all of you to really just like, you all just swooped in and you were like, we've got you. Like, we're here. We've got you. And that
he felt that.
It was felt like so deeply. And honestly, I just want you guys to know like that it really means so much to everyone when you have those simple comments that might not feel like a lot. And it might have only taken 30 seconds for you to write a response, but that 30 seconds meant the world. And it helps people through what they're dealing with in their lives, through recovery, through depression, through anxiety, like through all of the struggles. Your little bit of light that might seem insignificant, all of us together though, the light that we're shining so bright is just absolutely incredible. So thank you guys, honestly.
Yeah, he shared some
guys.
conversations with me, and part of the conversations he's having with people is that he's part of this community and he's felt so much love and support from complete strangers than he's felt from people who've known him for years. So that's on you guys, and I'm extremely proud of the culture that we've created here and the family that we've created, because the reason we called it Fam Jam is because we want this to be a family, an extended family. So I'm extremely proud of every single one of you guys. And I know he felt all the love, and it means the world to me. So.
Yeah, I can't reiterate that enough. Like the impact that we all make together as a team, as a community, for the struggles that we all go through personally, because each and every one of you are all going through something in your life. Whether you're sharing that with somebody else that's on this team or not, I know we all have our personal demons. We all have that thing inside of us that is challenging us to the max. And that in times that are hard can like kick us in the shins and make us feel like we just can't even take it anymore. And I just really want to empower you all to know that all of us together have created such an incredible community to be able to lift everyone up through those challenging times and through those hard times, through addiction and grief and like literally everything that we have been through, Jared's depression, everything that happened for our family. Like you guys are just always there. And we appreciate you guys so much. This is not what this call is about, but I feel like it could be because you're just incredible. And I think that it's like, I don't even know how to explain that to other people. Like the feeling, you have to just be a part of it and like experience it, right? And to even explain that, I don't even do it justice. So you guys are incredible.
And like 40 days, like 40 days of something that you've been addicted to the point where like, if you don't have it, your life feels like it's going to be over. Like 40 days he's been free of that. And like you guys, he leans on this group and you know, he feels all the love. So,
and again, whether or not you're sharing your personal struggle, I know you're probably leaning on this group too. So we got you. Yeah. All right. Let's dive into this call. We're super excited to really just kind of, like I said at the beginning, we're going to kind of map this out into tangible steps and help you guys understand, what do I have to do every day? Because there's a lot of things that you can do when you decide to become your own CEO of your own business. And online in the social media world, there's a lot of different experts that are saying so many different things. And sometimes we can just get like sucked into the vortex of, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing anymore because I have literally done way too much training. I've listened to 5 different opinions of how something should be done. And now I just kind of feel lost. Or you're brand new to the team and this is just a perfect call for us to guide you into what you should be doing as a coach. So we're really going to work on the Success Club Business Activity Tracker. This tracker, if this is new to you, you can find it in the New Coach Handbook. It is the first thing after the checklist that we say to download. So if you have the PDF file, you can click on that and download it. If you don't have it yet, not to worry, you don't need it for this call specifically. But if you have a copy of it, you could always just jot some notes down for it. Or grab like some Post-its or something and write some notes. You're definitely going to want to take notes tonight. So this is literally what we have to do every day. And as we're going through this is going to help you with understanding that the activities that you're taking today are driving you forward tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Now, that's easier said than done. To say this is all you have to do every single day and then to actually do it are 2 completely different things. We are more than coaches. We're parents. We are siblings. We are aunts. We are uncles. We are married. We have partners. We are in relationships. We have jobs outside of this, sometimes 2 or 3 other jobs outside of this. And so we have a lot of things that are tugging at our attention every single day and pulling us in 5 different directions. And when that happens, oftentimes, this investment into your own health and wellness journey that you also got a free coach account for can seem like, this can wait. I can do that tomorrow. But your tomorrows start to add up. And those big goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year, the big vision and dream that you casted out for your life at the beginning of the year, now we get halfway through the year and you're like, shoot, I haven't been showing up. Like, it's easy to put this to the wayside, is really my point. It's easy to make this come last, but let me tell you what happens when you make it come first. When you put this business first, I will say family first above all. Yeah, okay, that is us always. Then when you put this as your baby and you put this above your other to-do list items, this is a vehicle that can change your life. honestly. It has changed so much for Jer and I in so many ways that I didn't even know was possible. But it comes with taking the action. And taking action, it's not as easy as just, I want to hit Success Club 5 this month, and I'm going to go do the things to hit Success Club 5. Success Club 5 isn't going to get you out of bed in the morning. Let's be real. Who is like so excited to hit Success Club 10 that they're going to wake up every single morning an hour earlier just to check off boxes on a piece of paper? It's not going to work that way. Like, that is not the thing that's going to drive us. And so the very first thing on this at the very top, and we probably all skip it, but every single week, you should be identifying your why. This is like life goals, okay? The why is not because I want to hit Success Club 20. Your why is not because you want to be a diamond coach. Your why isn't because you want to be a 5-star diamond coach or your year-end goals. That is not your why. Your why is your life goal. And when we talk about the business and we go through the training, we talk about like your bigger whys, your family, your health, we're talking about really big things. I want you to get gritty though. What's going to make you show up tomorrow morning? What's going to make you finish this business activity tracker tonight when we get off the call? What's going to drive you and what passion is going to be behind that? And oftentimes when I ask coaches, like, what's your why? Why do you want to do this business? So like, because I want to help people. Number one thing people say to me, because I want to help people. Great. We all want to help people. What's going to make you get out of bed in the morning? That's not enough. I promise you, it is not enough to check off these boxes. I want to take my family on a trip to Disney. That's going to get you out of bed in the morning. I want to pay cash to be able to take my family first class to Hawaii. That is going to get you out of bed in the morning or stay up later at night or be able to prioritize your time during the day to get the business activity tracker done. What is your life goal? What do you want? There's no wrong answer here either. It can be monetary. It can be something that is like, I want to quit my full-time job. It can be, I want enough income to actually pay our bills. I need $5,000 to get one credit card paid off. What is your goal? What is your why that you're focusing on right now? Because those bigger things, they're really hard to put into perspective right now. So we have to pull it into something that feels attainable. So what's your why that feels attainable to you right now? I want you to write that out every single week. This is a weekly tracker. It starts on, and I know some people question this, it starts on a Thursday because Beachbody weeks are Thursday to Wednesday. And so every week we do you're going to have your restart. Day one is technically Thursday. And I want you to write that why down every single Thursday on this business activity tracker. What is the thing that is your life goal that's going to get you out of bed? That is going to help you stop hitting snooze. That is going to be the thing that is like, if I don't show up today in my business, if I don't do the business activity tracker, it means that my family is not going to get that dream trip that we have. It means that I'm not going to be able to retire my husband from policing one day. What does that mean to you? Go deep on that. Okay. That's going to be the thing that drives you forward in this business. And know that if you're like, well, I don't even know if this business can do that for me. I don't even know if coaching can do the thing that I want. Reach out to your coach, reach out to your PS coach, tell them what that why is. Hold yourself accountable. Just like we have our clients hold themselves accountable, hold yourself accountable and talk to them about what that is. And they're going to be able to tell you whether or not that's realistic, of course. But this is a tool. It's a vehicle that opens up a really large network for you on social media and within the team. And it has that income that is attached to it, insert income disclaimer, that can allow you to pursue a lot of the other goals that you have in your life. Okay. The next thing beside that is your target market. Now, this one here, I think we just kind of way overcomplicate the target market. And then it's one way or the other. We simplify it way too much or we overcomplicate it way too much. And I feel like that's kind of how we do the whole business all the time. So target market, what is that? That's really just for you to identify who is the person you want to help this week. What what does that look like for you? Is she a busy mom? Great. That's your target market. It's simple. It doesn't have to be she is a country music lover. She lives in Florida. She's on the beach. She has 3 kids and like, you don't have to list off all the things about the person because you are multifaceted as well. And if we pigeonhole too much, then we feel like we're just like, I don't even know where to find that person. And so this is kind of like a craft of identifying who that target market is. But in the beginning, we just have to know, who do we want to help that week? Who are you going to write posts for? You know, who would you love to read your post and be like, oh, that totally resonated. I feel like I need to be in her challenge group. I feel like I need her help. I feel like that couple, like that's what we need in our marriage. Like, what does that look like for you? And so super simple, who's the person that you would love to help this week? Hint, it's you 3 years ago. That's the person you want to help. Who were you 3 years ago? Who were you before you started this journey? That's the person you want to help. So if you're like, I have no idea who that is, that's it. It's you, because you have your life experience. Nobody else has your life experience. You are an expert at your life. You are an expert at how you're using Beachbody to help you move through challenges that you're having in your life. And only you can share that from your perspective. So speaking from your perspective and not feeling like you have to be a different type of coach or you have to help a certain type of person, you just show up and help you 3 years ago. Who's the person you needed and you looked up to? That's who you're going to help. Okay. So that is your why, and that is your target market. And I think those ones get skipped quite often. And people are like, I'm just going to go check off all the boxes. But those are your driving forces, right? That's really what's going to guide you for the whole week, and that week, and then the week after, and the week after. And then you get it, right? And you're reiterating and you're visualizing it every time you write it down. And that visualization of what you want in your life will help you to show up and get this stuff done, instead of just like the mundane task of like, oh, I got to do invites. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to, that feeling of like, I have to do that doesn't always drive us. So let's move into, I'm going to pass this over to Shorty. Let's move into number 1 on this, which is proof that the products work.
Hey guys. Okay. So guys, this one's number 1 on the list for a reason. It's because this business starts with you. You have to be on your own personal journey to invite people into it. You have to be focusing on you. You have to be making sure that you are getting your workouts in, that you are following nutrition to the best of your abilities. That one always falls by the wayside for me. So I'm really reining it in over the last couple of weeks, and it's making a difference. But I'm being a proof that the product works over the last 2 weeks. And I posted about that today. And making sure that you are, and it says drink Shakeology, using the products. When you are working a business, if you sell vacuum cleaners and you use somebody else's vacuum cleaner, no one's going to buy your vacuum cleaner because you're talking about and using somebody else's vacuum cleaner. So it's really going to be hard for you to be able to engage with the people that you're talking to if you don't use the products, have never used the products, to have no intention of using the products. In addition to that, we have some amazing products. Like, they are amazing. So get to know them, know a little bit about them. Even if, maybe Shakeology just doesn't sit well with you. Maybe you have some health issues that it doesn't work for you. Know about it. Know how it works. Know how it impacts on your clients, know how they respond to it, so that you can share their experience. If you, for whatever reason, cannot share that experience, you can draw on other people's experience to be able to communicate with the people that you're talking to. But you have to show what you're doing. If you're not showing what you're doing and not showing that it works, and really working on yourself, then it's going to be really hard for you to help other people, because you're not going to believe in what you're doing and what you're promoting. So I think that's it for number 1. Just basically,
Absolutely.
yeah, I was just going to say, be the challenger.
Be the challenger that you want to attract, right? You're going to use the products. Well, if you don't want your challengers canceling their Shakeology after month 1, show up every day, showing them that you drink it and why you drink it. What's the health benefit that you get from it? If you want clients to be using Energize collagen, show that you're using it, right? So I think that it's so key. Be the challenger that you want to attract and really try the products, like Shorty said, right? Try something new. If you haven't tried something, put it in your basket, add it to cart for next month, and have that be the new thing that you try. Okay, so we're going to move into section number 2. Section number 2 of the business activity tracker is it's a meaty one. This is where there's a lot of stuff going on here. And the majority of this is on social media. And so I'm going to speak to the first part of really initiating connections and adding followers. This seems to be a big hesitation for a lot of people. And it comes from one, what does it mean to make connections and add followers? Like, what does that mean? And are you asking me right now to add people I don't know to my Instagram account and feel weird and awkward about adding random people into my Instagram or my Facebook account? Yeah, kind of that's what I'm asking you to do. But I'm going to share with you kind of my tricks on how we go about doing this to really target, again, that target market. Who's the person that you want to help this week? Those are the people we're going to connect with. We're not just going to randomly dive into social media and just go rogue and like follow all these people and then randomly have like super creepo messages at our DMs and be like, block, 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 which by the way, you are allowed to block anybody that you want to on your social media. So I highly recommend that you have a public profile on Instagram. I highly recommend that on Facebook, you can't have a public profile on Facebook, but you have to have your settings so that people can add you as a friend at least. So make sure your settings are open for that. There are a lot of accounts who are like completely blocked off and you don't allow anyone to add you as a friend. You have to have that setting open in order to grow your social media. We are trying to grow social media. That is the really big part of what we do as coaches. And if we aren't growing our social media, then our warm market list, which is our friends and our family and the people that we know right now, we're going to run out of that. And then you're not going to have anybody to talk to. And we're going to be sitting there. And I don't care what anyone tells you on social media. No one is just going to come flocking to your account because you put a post up. It does not work that way. We have to go out and find the people. We have to seek the people. We have to build our community online so that we can figure out, do we like that person and do they like us? Not everyone's going to like us, and that's okay. That's their jam. I only want the people who are really going to like me to follow my account. And if you don't, I want you to know immediately that you don't love what I'm into and you can just go ahead and click unfollow or unfriend. We don't have to vibe with absolutely everybody. When you are looking for connections and adding followers, what I typically do on Facebook is I try and add 10 new friends on Facebook every single day. That's kind of my number. You can pick any number that you want to. Not everyone is going to accept your friend request though. So typically I'll have 2 or 3 new people every single day adding into my network on Facebook. That for me has just been like the simplest way. And I used to, in the beginning of my business, I would go through suggested friends and I would just add 10, done, move on to the next activity really quick. As you get connected with coaches, and as you get connected with the team on Facebook, your suggested friends are actually going to be friends of coaches or coaches, downline coaches. And we're just going to start connecting our accounts with more coaches or clients of other coaches. And that's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. So to avoid that, what I do on Facebook is I go into my target market is moms. So I go into mom groups on Facebook and I start conversations with people in the groups, or I will answer anything that people have posted, and then I add them as a friend. So I go through the mom groups and see who's active in there, and I add those people as friends. That's what I do all the time on Facebook. I sometimes will go through like friends lists of other friends, as long as they're not Beachbody coaches. I will go through friends lists and just add people if we have mutual friends or mutual connections, especially if you've got like 20, 30 friends. They're like, hey, did you send me a friend request? Yeah, I did. I saw we had like 30 mutual friends. We've got to have a connection somewhere. Easy conversation starter. Okay. That's Facebook. Instagram for me, I use hashtags and I use locations. So I am using a hashtag. This is just going to take a little bit of like work to figure out in the beginning. I love hashtags and locations. When I'm using locations to add followers, I'm using like, where do you live? Where have you traveled and where do you want to travel? Start there. Search those locations, and people who are posting about those locations, add them, follow them. If they're a private account, request to follow them. You never know what will happen, right? If it's a public account, you go in, and if you can see what they're all about and you like it, follow them. If you see what they're all about and you're like, not really my jam, go on to the next person. Try and add 10 people on Facebook, 10 people on Instagram. The other way that I do it on Instagram is through hashtags. And I will search like mom of three, because I'm a mom of three. Don't actually use that hashtag because I've searched it and it's literally all Beachbody coaches. So don't use that one, but use something that is in your market, target market of whatever that may be. Something you love. What are you interested in? What music do you listen to? What cities have you traveled to? What are your hobbies? What are your interests? What is your full-time position? Your job? Type in something and it populates like all these suggestions below. Just start searching through those and go to the posts. The one tip I want to give you is that when you search a hashtag, at the top, it will say top and recent. Go into recent, okay? There's 2 tabs that you can toggle. The top ones are like big blogger accounts. So that's not who you're looking for. In recent, those are going to be accounts that you're looking for. However, in top, that could be a really great account that you could go into their followers and add followers from the list. This is literally a rabbit hole of being able to find people. My biggest thing is like, don't overcomplicate it. Be quick with it. Add 10 people Facebook, 10 people on Instagram, move on. You will get a notification when someone accepts your friend request and they follow you back. If they decide to follow you back, that's when you can focus on them. Okay. So initiate connections, add followers for 20 minutes every single day. You could probably add more than 10 and 10 if you're doing that for 20 minutes a day. And we'll do more tips and tricks on that in the chats as we kind of move through the year. Okay, social media posts and stories. Shorty.
Okay, guys, I was shocked when Shalene said, "Can you talk about this?" Because I didn't have Instagram when I started coaching, and when I look back at the things that I posted, I was like, "Oh my heavens, this is going to be a work in progress. Be okay with that, and it's going to be about really stepping out of your comfort zone and being okay with that. But you have to test your boundaries. Trust me, test your boundaries. It's going to help you, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. So I'm just going to preface this because I am no expert in stories, and I started like, if you look back, I challenge you guys all to look back. Don't do that, but it was bad. Okay, so my biggest thing for me is, am I posting something, or do I have stories that would make me stop on somebody's page? If I post something and that was on somebody else's page, would I stop? Would the picture grab me? Would the caption grab me? Are the stories something that are interesting enough that I keep watching? Because I tap through people's stories all the time. I'm like, nope, right? So think about the people that are coming to your page. Would you stop if you saw that post or those stories? I always try to use that as my guide. The second thing I try to think about, particularly relating to my posts, is, am I educating somebody? Am I giving them value? Am I inspiring them? Am I doing it like a vulnerable post about me so that they can connect with me, or am I making them laugh? Because I think on one of those bases, you're going to capture somebody who's going to find something in what you posted. So don't just post, guys. Don't just post for the sake of posting. It's not going to be something that's going to grab somebody, they'll see right through you. It won't be relatable. It won't be authentic. Don't just post for the sake of posting. So make sure that you are really thinking about those things. How am I providing value to somebody? In a world of craziness right now, am I making somebody smile or laugh? Perfect. People love that. Those are usually like the quotes or like the memes, right? So I really try to focus on that one, especially in my posts. If you aren't sure what to talk about in your posts, that's where personal development is great. It comes in because I'll read something in my personal development and go, oh, okay, I definitely have to post about that. So I'll make a note of it, like in the notes section on my phone, to talk about that at some point in either my stories or my posts. Personal development is great content. Transformations are great content. Talking about the business side of things. I don't get my most engagement there. So I don't talk about all that all the time, right? Where am I getting the most engagement from people? My family, my journey, my inspirational posts, when I get vulnerable, those get the most engagement. So I do those most, right? Easy post. If you're worried about or not knowing what to post, check the Beachbody blog. There's some great information in there that you can share with people as value, right? And don't say, hey, this is from my Beachbody blog. I mean, you can if you want, but I would recommend not doing that. I would just recommend, you can even say something like, oh, I read this and it really resonated with me. Or, just use that content to be able to provide value. Stories, guys. Stories is your life. This is where you can relate to people. This is where you can be relatable. So I always encourage showing the most about you in your stories so that somebody can grab something that they can relate to. If it's always just your workouts and people aren't interested in that, they're going to tap right past all of your stories. But if you're showing your family, your life, my son was building his computer. My 11-year-old son was building a computer today. I was like, what is happening? Who is this child? But I shared it because maybe somebody can relate to that. I share family struggles. I share homeschooling struggles. I share everything in my stories so that people can relate to some aspect of me. They won't always relate. They don't care that I work out. They really don't. They care, who am I? Why am I working out? Why is it important? So those are the things that I would really think about when you're doing your stories. Be authentic. You can watch all the Beachbody coaches in the world and try and replicate what they're doing. It will not work for you. You have to be you, because if you were trying to be Shalene, well, if people want Shalene as their coach, they're going to be already with Shalene, right? They want you. They want to see what you're going to bring them. They're going to relate to you. There are going to be a ton of people that don't relate to me, but they might relate to Yolanda or Marie or Carmelina or Lisa or Megan. So be you, show up as you. That's what people want. They want you. They don't want me, or they'd be following me. So, just show up as you. It's super, super important. And I'm trying not to talk too long. Like, this is like a major topic. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to set everything up. Like, your stories are really just, my kitchen is always a disaster. Like, that's a, people can relate to that. You'd be surprised how many people can relate to the fact that you don't apologize for a messy house. Be like, guys, my house is, show people the messy house. We don't want to be perfect. Nobody wants perfect. They want to see the messy house. I've learned that because I get the most engagement on those. They're like, oh my God, I feel you. My house is a disaster right now. Like, we're all in the same boat, guys. So have that, show that people will relate to that. Show that you're a human being and that you're not perfect and that you struggle. The only other thing that I think, Shalene could probably talk about this forever. I'm just trying to touch on the quick things. Try to use GIFs or GIFs, however you pronounce it, polls, calls to action. Even if people aren't clicking on them, I'm really good at this. I strategically place them so that when people are tapping through, they tap on my poll. It gives me a reason to jump into their DMs. And when they say to me, oh my God, I'm sorry, that was accidental, I will go right back to them and say, oh, maybe the universe is trying to tell you something. Like I literally will just start a conversation with them. I'm not just like, oh, like all the time. So I strategically place my polls so that people accidentally tap on them sometimes because it'll give me a reason to open up that conversation. So don't underestimate that. Like I don't use polls because I expect people to tap on them unless it's something relating to my clothes or my hair or completely unrelated to the business. Polls are great for that. Everyone will answer them. You ask them to answer a business poll, no way. So think about using those too. And Instagram likes when you use their stickers and gifts and stuff, and they're going to reward you for doing that. So, and don't just be a floating head. I can't remember who said that on a call once. Try not to just be a floating head because people don't always have their volume on and they won't be listening. But if you have a caption in your story, that'll catch their eye. So use something like bold it or like capital letters, something that's going to grab somebody to make them stop and listen. Okay, I think
I love that. I know
Yeah.
this is like a meaty piece and like juicy information. We'll do a whole call on like diving in more on how to craft your post and stuff. But I think it's just important to know that this is a daily activity, daily stories, daily posts.
Yeah.
Show up as you are. Really, really great information. Thanks, Shorty.
And it's so true about the polls because, sorry, go ahead, Shorty.
This was a major one, and I know I should have started this one. If you invite somebody and you don't have anything in your stories or your posts, no one's going to follow you. No one's going to accept your invitation. So you always have to have something there because you're going to invite them. The very first thing they're going to do is jump into your stories and jump onto your feed. So if you have nothing there, I'm sorry, but they're not going to follow you and they're not going to accept your invite.
Yeah, Danielle
Yeah.
said it great in the chat too. She said that it's your storefront, right? And even to what I was talking about, adding connections and followers, people immediately are going to be like, who is this person? And if they go and you're like, oh, you haven't posted since December of 2018, they're like, weird. I'm not going to let this person follow me, right? So think about how active are you? And that's your opening. You invite someone into your store, what are they going to see? It doesn't have to be perfect. Just what are they going to see? Like, what do you have to offer that day? One thing.
Yeah.
All right.
And moving on to the next stage, responding to likes and comments and views. This one is huge because whether you're getting a ton of engagement on your stories or not, you probably have a ton of people watching. Even if you have 50 people watching your stories, that is 50 people that you should be reaching out to. So something I learned from a coach who's very high up in this company is that he said, if you have people watching your stories within a 7-day period, every single person in your story views should have a message from you. It doesn't have to be an invite, but should have a message with you. It's going to go back to the connection field that Shalene was talking about. So if you don't know how to do that, when you go into your stories, I want you to go into your stories, click on a story, swipe up. That's going to tell you all of your viewers. You should know every single person who's watching your stuff. And if there's a new face there, you should be going to their feed, checking them out, liking a few things, watch their stories, and then sending them a message, even if it is just a message of, hey, thanks so much for jumping in and checking out my stories. I really appreciate the support. Start that conversation in hopes that they're going to respond back. And now you can start a relationship, right? When you're responding to comments on your feed, try and make it more than 4 words. Don't just click like, don't just double tap it and click like, because you're going to start to get into the IG algorithm and Facebook algorithm when you start responding. Shalene and I always have this competition, and we actually do it with one another. We always want to be the last one to respond. So sometimes you'll see our posts and we'll comment on each other, but there'll be 6 comments from us because neither one of us wants to be we always want to be the last one to respond. So any person that comments or likes your stuff, especially comments, you should be physically responding to that person in your post. One, it's going to boost your post. More people are going to see it. And you're creating engagement with that person so that now you can actually jump into their DMs and start a conversation.
Can I add something to that? Because
sure.
I love that. And something that I've started doing, because every time you comment, they get a notification, right? So if they've commented on your post and you reply, they get a notification. If you like that comment, they get a notification. So split up when you reply and when you like it. Okay. 2 different notifications. So if you reply right away, always reply right away. And then before you go to post tomorrow, go to your post from today or the day before, go to that post and like all the comments and then post what you're going to post. Because now all those people have a notification and they go to your feed and, oh, you have something new that you're talking about today.
I actually do that all the time, but I do that in the DMs. So if I'm in the DMs with somebody and we've been in communication, I've sent them a message, I've asked them a question and they haven't responded, sometimes I'll go back and the recent message that like the last message they've sent me, I'll double tap and like it. They're going to get a notification from me now. So instead of it looking like me just harassing them with messages, it's just now a notification saying, hey, I liked that last message you said. So just something to consider. Like I said, a big tip though, is if you look at your story viewers, however many you have within that week, say for example, if you checked your stories on Mondays and you had 50 people over a 7-day period, those 50 people should have some kind of message from you, excluding coaches that are following you. If it's a client, reach out to that client. Why wouldn't you want to build a stronger relationship with your client?
Yeah.
Right. So you should have some kind of message to that person.
And gut check. If I said right now, I'm coming to your house and I'm grabbing your phone to see all your viewers. And if you messaged them, if you were just like,
give me 20 minutes.
Do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Start there.
Yeah. So moving on to the next stage, like I said, responding is so important, but invites. This one's critical too. It says at least 5. I think that's bullshit. And if you want to grow this business and even me by saying you should be doing 10 invites, I still think that's low. But realistically, if you want the business to go somewhere, it needs to be a minimum of 10 invites a day. Right. And if you don't know where these invites are coming from, that's where you're getting into those conversations of responding to people in your stories, responding to people in your comments. Once you add new followers and they follow you back, they should be getting a message from you saying, hey, thanks for the follow back, or thanks for following me. It's always great to connect with people on here. They should be getting some kind of message to create that. So you have people to talk to. So you have 10 invites a day, right? Invites, I'm not going to get in here and get into a script of what an invite should be, because an invite is going to be different every single time. There are times when I send a copy and paste invite if I'm just hammering out some boot camp ones, but a lot of times when I'm in the DMs, the invite is going to be specific to that person, depending on what kind of pain points they've talked to me about, whether it's like weight loss or they're looking for community or whatever the case may be. My invite will be geared towards that. So to get into a script and give you a script here, I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to encourage you to do is send your invite to your upline and have them look at it. And if there's any tweaks that can be made, or maybe it can be made a little bit more powerful, or maybe it's too long because we don't want to be too wordy. We want to kind of be short and quick, because honestly, if I get a message and it is a massive message, I'm a guy, I'm not reading it all. I can promise you that. And I know other people out there are going to be doing the same. So
I avoid it like the plague. I'm like, oh gosh,
yeah,
I don't have time for this.
So when you are sending your invites out, what are you inviting to? Right? You're inviting to either a challenge group or a virtual gym, whatever you want to call it. Shalene and I have been calling a virtual gym lately, and it's been working really well. But whatever you're calling, that's what you're inviting someone to, right? So always have something that you're inviting someone to, because the times where there's a lull in the month and you're like, oh shit, what am I inviting to? Your invites are probably really low. But if you always have something in mind of where you're going or where you're inviting to, you always have that option of 10 a day, right? Follow-ups.
Sorry, before you go on, when you are inviting to, as you build your challenge group, you'll start to now invite from your challenge group to the coach opportunity too. So remember that as your invites. Always have that as a pulse check of like, who in my challenge group could make a really great coach, or who would I love to work with in my challenge group, and invite them on the coaching opportunity. There's no right or wrong time for that. They could have just signed up 2 weeks ago and they're loving it and they're like, yes, let's go, let's do this. Or it could be 4 months. Just have those conversations with your clients.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Follow-ups. This one's easy too. Follow-ups means you have to have some kind of tracking system. You have to track it. You have to have a list, whether it is written or it's on your phone in your notes. That's what I do. I just have it in my phones every time. I have my months, January to December, and every time I add somebody that needs a follow-up or they're looking for more information, I add them to that list and I highlight them a different color. So that way, when I go to my phone, I know where my follow-ups are, who has information, who's looking at details, and who needs to be followed up with next month. So how that works for me, if someone wants more information, I am sending them, well, one, I'm asking them the questions that I need to find the pain points, and then I'm sending them the details that they need. Once they have the details, I'm following up with them within 2 days. Again, if they ghost you, I know people are busy. I am a Nazi when it comes to follow-up, and they will get follow-up after follow-up. Sometimes they'll just get like an emoji of a guy waving or whatever. Like, I will just try and get their attention because they've already said they're interested. So I know people get busy with life, but so that's why I just kind of stay on top of it. If they say no, that doesn't mean no forever. It means no for right now. So I follow up with them next month. And I just say, hey, just wanted to let you know there's, whatever, a new virtual gym, our enrollment's reopened and there's spots available if you want to grab one, whatever my invite would be to that person, depending on the conversation I've had. I've never really had anyone tell me to fuck off and leave them alone. So I haven't come across it yet. I know some people have, and I don't see any kids.
Yes, there is.
Oh, sorry.
It's in her ear. She's
okay.
Good. You're good.
I haven't had that. So I would imagine if I did, I would probably leave them for a little bit. But if they're continuing to watch my stuff, they're getting an invite again later. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if you're not interested, why are you watching my stuff? Because I post a lot about business. I post a lot about mindset. I post a lot about recovery. So like, what are you watching for? And that's what I'll kind of maybe break down the next time. Like say, hey, listen, I still see you watching. I know you weren't interested last time, but what are you specifically watching me for? Or what can I do more of? And start that engagement. Maybe it's a trust thing. Maybe he doesn't trust me yet, or she doesn't trust me yet.
I think at the end of the day, responding to likes, inviting, and follow-ups is about starting conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Be you, your voice. How would you talk to a human being? That's what those three things are really there for. It's important to like break them out so you understand where you're at with the relationship with people. Are you just starting out and you're responding and you're building that relationship? Are they ready for an invite? Okay, great. Did they answer you? Awesome. Track it and now follow up with them, right? Yeah. It's just that process of building that relationship with people, but use your voice and just have conversation. There's no right or wrong way.
But that's it.
Anything else?
Track it. That's it. It's so important to track. If you're not tracking, you don't have a business.
Danielle, bod groups, challenge groups, share insight.
All right, I got you. I'm mindful of everyone's time. So if I sound nervous, I'm not. I don't like being on a time crunch, but I know we're on the top of the hour. So I'm going to keep this clear and concise. Get people results. That's what the title is on our bat. Ultimately, I call it nurture your network. This is all about providing customer service. It's not about thanks for enrolling. Here's the platform. See you later. I'm back to inviting. We need to make sure we are nurturing our network, taking care of our customers, taking care of our clients, and really showcasing how amazing this community is. So number one, doesn't say it on here, but number one, if you want to grow this business, I highly recommend starting your own group. Your clients did not enroll with your upline. They enrolled to work with you. So even though it's great to co-collaborate and run a group together, I still think it's important whether you run your own free group or whether you start building your own bod group. So I know some of us are probably like, ugh, I don't know, especially from someone who calls their team Stronger Together. We definitely are all about doing things together, but I also think it's important for us to really showcase ourselves, our brand, right? So make sure that you have a bod group. I'm going to talk about bod groups, like you all know, on the bod group, like fanatic. So in your intersect Facebook, if that's your thing, but bod groups is where it's at. So a lot of things I'm going to talk about will relate to bod groups, and I'm going to try to keep it pretty concise here. So number one, contribute and add value to your bod group. This is very vague, but it could look like several different things. One, adding a daily post, doing a morning check-in post, You can pre-schedule them. So it doesn't have to be an everyday thing. You can easily set aside 10, 15 minutes over the weekend, pre-schedule your week's posts, and then call it good. That's what I prefer to do. If I pre-schedule my post, that way I'm rather be spending other time on the activities on the bat, or then the other things with my clients. So pre-schedule morning posts. You can easily send a message to your bod group. So if you don't want to do a morning post every single day, a simple message, DM via bod group to everyone in that group, sends them a notification and says, hey, good morning. Make sure you push play today. You know, give them some uplifting messages for them to be like, oh, wow, I needed to hear that. Okay, done. Go live. If you don't have a lot of time to pre-record your posts, go live. Go live for 2 minutes after your workout and be like, that was insane. You guys all got to try Dynamic Control Freak. It's so good. And just be real and authentic. So kind of show your light and just provide that message for them via live. If you are like, I don't know about going live, I'm barely going live on my Instagram, pre-record, practice, pre-record videos, doesn't perfect, but if you want to get your feet wet, pre-record your video and then post that in your bod group. You can easily do that. You can also post Vimeo links and YouTube and video files off your computer. So if you have an awesome video from Darren O'Lean about Shakeology or Autumn, like use the resources we have and add that to your bod group. The sky is the limit, so don't feel like you have to do what your upline's doing or other coaches. Just be you and share what you think your clients really need. Recognize achievement. Give you a lot of examples. You can only pick one, by the way. You don't have to do all of these. Recognize achievement. You can send a private message to a client if someone has been slaying their workouts, slaying their nutrition, just showing up during a struggle that you probably know that they're going through. Send them a message. You can send it via bod group. You can send to just one client, or you can easily just send them a private DM, however you communicate with them, saying, hey, I see you, great job. Just want to give you a thumbs up. Super simple. You can do a quick post shouting them out on your bod group on the actual group feed. You can tag them so that way they get notified and everyone can comment and say like, great job. You can welcome new members. So anytime you have someone new joining your group, you can welcome them, tag them. I always like to leave a question afterwards saying like, hey, welcome so-and-so. They're about to start Dynamic Control Freak. You know, those of us who have done it before, drop your comments below of what advice do you have for them? Or if someone who hasn't picked a program yet, drop your favorite programs and why. Give them kind of something to start with and make them feel welcomed. And then lastly, post on your stories. Tag your clients. If they finish a program, tag them and say like, congratulations for finishing your program. This is something our team does really well with recognition posts, just like we would with coaches. Anytime you have a coach recognition, we have a nice little template. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't even have to be a template, but acknowledge them. And if they feel comfortable, tag them on your stories. That way they will potentially reshare it on their stories, therefore getting you more eyes and saying like, what are you part of, right? So I've had so many clients who don't really want to coach, but have referred amazing clients just by them sharing their achievement of like, I just laid M100, like I love this community. So super simple, and it doesn't take too much time. Last thing is respond to questions, okay? Making sure that you take 5 minutes to respond to any questions that were either in the pod group or maybe in your DMs or via email if you communicate that. If you don't have any questions, because I know you're probably thinking like, what if I don't have questions for my clients or coaches? Go ask them questions. Take 5 minutes, check in with them. You can easily check in with all of them at once, send a bod group DM, or you can via email. I typically send like an email to all my clients, checking in with them. Or you can easily just take, X amount of clients per day, per week. Once a week, check in with these 5. Next week, check in with these 5. Just make sure that they know that they are being seen and they're not forgotten. Because I know even it's easy to assume that if they're not asking questions and they're doing okay, but sometimes they're just maybe struggling and they don't really want to reach out. So don't leave them, don't leave them hanging, and make you prioritize like, who have I not seen show up recently? Let me go check on how they are. Last thing too is, I think this goes back to contributing. I have a note here. I do not like to leave any check-in via bod group. Like I like to comment in them all. I want to make sure that they know I see their workout, because I know it's like to log my workout and then no one really to comment on it. So then it's like, well, no one's going to really see it. I make sure that I spend 5 minutes in the morning commented on all the morning workout people. I go at lunchtime, I comment on all the midday workout people. And then at the evening before bed, I do make sure I comment on anyone who's worked out in the evening. Just because we work out in the morning or I work out in the morning doesn't mean that those people are going to be working at the same time as me. So I like to prioritize and make sure I try not to miss anybody before the day's over with. It's not perfect. Sometimes I do get to the midnight people, but the next day, but I like to make sure that I'm going, I want to make sure I do at least one acknowledgement. Great job. Keep it up. How's your workout? Something encouraging, something also personal, just like what Jared said. Don't make it more than, don't just like it. Add more than four words, just like you would on Instagram, and make sure your clients are really felt like they're like, make them feel seen and acknowledged. So, all right, 6 minutes. I got it. Done.
Bam. Jeez, that was incredible. And I think that, it's so true when we've been talking about everything like leading up to challenge groups, right? Like be the challenger you want to attract and encourage the behavior in your challenge groups that you want to see. And you got to lead from the front, right? You have to be that leader in your challenge group. And what do you want other people to do in there? That's what you have to do. And that's how you have to show up in that space, which goes back to number one. This is all interconnected of making sure that you're proof the products work, right? So final thing on the bat is vital behavior number 4, which is personal development. Personal development is personal. It is different for all of us. And you need to find personal development that is what you need right now, not what everyone else needs. We can recommend a ton of books for you, but they can just go, when you're just wasting a ton of time reading personal development that means absolutely nothing to you because you don't struggle with self-confidence issues, or because you don't struggle with perfectionism, or you are not a fan of Rachel Hollis. Like whatever it is, you honestly really have to find your stride in what am I struggling with right now? What's my biggest struggle in life? What's my biggest struggle in business? Where do you want to grow? That's what you're going to read. And you just have to Google it. And then that's it, right? Google what it is. Books for self-confidence, books on managing money, books on literally anything in your life, because it will tie into this business and you can probably apply almost anything. Is that the 12-week year? What did you just show? Oh, the 4-hour work week. Yes, that one's good too. The 12-week year is on my list this year. But like, what is it that you need to perfect in a craft of some sort? That's the personal development that I want you to start with. If you have no idea where to start with, the Slight Edge. I think that one kind of just like covers everything for everyone. And it is doing this every single day. That's the Slight Edge. So read that book. If you haven't yet, add it to your list. But I really do want to say personal development is personal. If you want to grow in leadership, read leadership books. If you want to understand network marketing more, read network marketing books. If you need productivity, whatever it is, search and research the books that you need for what you need to grow in, because we all bring different skill sets to the table. Mm-hmm. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different areas that we want to work out. We have different strengths, and some of those strengths might not be what somebody else has, and they're reading books on that and recommend it to you. And you're like, yeah, I kind of already do all of this. This is great. Like, this is great, but I want to work on a different area of my life. So I think it is personal. Last but not least, and by the way, personal development. Do you listen to personal development? Absolutely. You don't have to read the books. If you're someone who is like, you just don't love reading and you're never going to do it because you don't love reading, listen to podcasts or get the Audible app. Okay.
That's me.
Jared's like, I don't make
Words
me
are hard.
read.
I'm not reading.
Don't make me read. So if that is you, find a way to get your personal development in that is not in the form of reading. And that's totally fine. That can be YouTube videos. We can learn a lot off of really incredible, like personal PD speakers have incredible YouTube videos. If you want to watch a video, watch a video. You need podcasts, watch podcasts, listen to a podcast, just whatever it is for you. Okay.
And if there are podcast people out there, I just started listening to The Boss Life. It's actually Miguel Carasso, who is one of the top Beachbody coaches.
He's our upline.
And he pretty much explains everything about network marketing. So it's great so far. It's great so far.
Tips.
Yeah.
Last but not least, and we're going to wrap this up, don't forget the bottom section. So we talked a lot about section 1, 2, 3, and 4, but at the very bottom, this is your weekly wrap up. What were your business results that week? What were they? How many new followers did you have? How many new challengers did you have? How many coaches came into your organization? What is your SC points so far for that week and so far for that month? I, at the beginning of the week, will write down my follower count of where I'm at, just so I have something. And then at the end of the week, I can be like, okay, here's where I'm at. Did I have growth? Awesome. Did I lose followers? Why? Did I not show up? Look at all the check marks I had. How many invites did I send? Write the number in. Did I send 2 invites all week and I'm at SC0? Well, that's why. Got to up my invites next week. Where am I at? This is going to be your truth. Like, this is your proof of what you're doing in your business. And are you getting the results that you're looking for in your business? If not, we can go back into the tracker and be like, okay, let's focus on this area this week. For the next 2 weeks, we're really going to highlight this area of showing up in your stories more authentically, or making sure you post every single day. What is it that needs to happen for you? And so often we're not hitting our goals, but no coach can help you if they don't have your business activity tracker. It is impossible for a mentor to tell you what you need to be doing in your business if we don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
This is why it's important to track it, to take the couple extra seconds to check this stuff off and to track it down is going to literally, it's going to move mountains in your business. And the days where, the weeks, the months where I'm not tracking, I know it. I see it in my business. It's not moving forward. I'm not hitting Success Club 10. I'm not hitting the metrics in my business that I want to hit. And I know it's because I'm not tracking and I don't actually know what I'm doing. I think I'm doing all of it, but if I were to go back and look, I probably missed a ton of boxes and a ton of areas, a ton of gaps that are sitting there in my business, which, if you miss something in one day, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean that you can't pick back up tomorrow where you left off. But know where you left off. Be honest with yourself. This is your truth right here. No one is judging you for this. No one is saying that it has to be done perfect every single day. I'm just saying be honest with yourself about what your goals are and how you're checking off these boxes to be able to reach those goals. Have this for your mentors, for them to be able to mentor you to the best level, to their best capabilities. That's going to be the thing that is going to help you in the end, right? It all ties together. There's no one thing on here that is like totally separate from the other and is more important than one or the other thing. They all intertwine. So if you missed something on Thursday, do that on Friday and then start back again on Saturday where you left off. If you choose Sunday to be a family day, that's okay. Share that on social media. Sunday's my family day. This is my rest day. This is when I don't do anything, and know that that's okay, but talk about that stuff. I think having boundaries is very healthy. We talked about it on the Emerald call, and I think that it's healthy to have them, and it's healthy to communicate them with your team. And it's also healthy to communicate them with people who are on social media who might expect a response right away, but they don't need a response right away, right? Rule of thumb for me is always within 24 hours. I try to get back to somebody within 24 hours. Last but not least, and it's not on here, you guys, training is not on here. Watching endless amounts of training videos is not part of your daily to-do. You have everything in you to be able to confidently get this done. We're going to learn, we're going to fail forward, and we're just going to practice. This takes practice and it takes time to perfect your craft. You're not going to feel like you're conquering the world in every area on here, but it really just takes practice of showing up. Checking in with your coaches is not on here. That's something that we do. But at this point, until you have a bigger team, spending a ton of time on your coaches is not the area of focus. I don't want to get into that on this call because we're already 15 minutes over, but I'm going to share in the team page a percentage. Okay, perfect. We'll do it on next week's call. We'll talk about time spent on your business activities that are moving you forward versus managing a team as you start to build a team, because that definitely sways your attention and it's not on here and you're kind of like, shoot, now what do I do? Like, how do I manage that? I feel like needs to be a tracker added on. Number 5 added on here, right? Mentoring your team and what that looks like every single day. So maybe we'll just add a sticky note onto the bottom of it. But thank you guys so much for showing up. I'll make sure that I share the recording of this. Thank you to Shorty and Jer and Danielle for sharing their insight as well. Feel free to, when I post this on the team page or share the recordings, feel free to like ask your questions in the comments, you guys. We didn't have time for Q&A tonight. So ask your questions in the chats, in the comments. Let's continue conversation. I know there's always questions when we talk about this stuff. So just encourage that conversation to be had about what some of your key takeaways were and what questions you might have, so we can unpack all of that together as a group. And other than that, thank you guys for showing up so much. You guys are amazing. See you later.
See you guys.